Are you struggling with an artist block? Would you like to experiment with new mediums like watercolors? Are you too scared to start painting in your new sketchbook? Then join me in this video where I will show you how to quickly sketch in watercolors, how to make a more detailed watercolor painting, and also how to make a quick pattern in a photo editing software. Welcome back. If you're new here, then welcome. I'm really glad you decided to click on this video. I normally make these creative process videos where I show you how I make my paintings from start to finish. However, today I'm launching a new series where we will be focusing on sketchbook mainly. Now, I know that things have been a little bit slow for the past couple of weeks. Life seemed to have gotten in the way a little bit, and this week we have found out that we have COVID. So I think I'm on a countdown on when I'm gonna actually feel extremely ill, and I'm trying to produce as much content as possible before I'm just gonna be bedridden. So please be patient and forgiving, because I might not be uploading a lot of content in the next few weeks. We'll see how things go in this household. So for a little while I wanted to introduce something different to my channel, but I didn't really know what I wanted to focus on. I knew I enjoy creating these creative process videos, but it wasn't enough for me, and I wanted to share something to you. I wanted to give back to the community, really. And one day I bought a new sketchbook, and you know what? I was too scared to actually start drawing in it. I didn't have any ideas. I normally sketch on loose piece of paper. They make me more comfortable, so it gave me a little bit of a, I know it sounds really stupid because I am an artist and I've been drawing in sketchbooks at university and all that, but that brand new sketchbook, the first few pages make me feel a little bit anxious because I still want it to look pretty. And I think it's more like you see all of these pictures online of these pretty sketchbooks, and then you look at your sketchbook and it looks nothing what you've seen online. So it's a little bit like body image, but it's like sketchbook image that you see, you know, online, and then you look at yours and it just looks nothing like what you've seen. So you know what, I thought that there must be a lot of more people feeling the way I do, and yeah, I invite you to join me on this sketch with me videos where we will try and sketch with different mediums every time, every new lesson. We will pick up some fun little things to draw. Now I normally work with watercolors, and I am starting my first video with watercolors. However, I will be experimenting with different mediums, and I would highly recommend you do the same. It will take you out of your comfort zone, but sometimes it is needed, especially if you're struggling with an artist block. If you are struggling with an artist block, you don't know what you want to be drawing next, you have no ideas, or maybe you want to just experiment with different mediums, then hit that subscribe button and join me on this new journey. If at the end of the video you feel like you have enjoyed the content, hit that like button. I would really appreciate that. Would make me know how many of you actually enjoy this new content and whether I should progress with it further. If you would like to be notified whenever I upload this new content, hit that little bell icon and you will be notified. This first episode we will be painting insects in watercolor. Now if you like a different medium, don't shy away, you can do with any medium whatsoever, but I am going to be starting it with watercolors. And if you are a beginner and you want to start with watercolors, then I've got some tips and tricks for you too. I will be working from photographs that I found on Pinterest, so if you're not confident in your memory, like I don't really know how a lot of bugs look like, then please do look at the photos, but don't rely on them too much. We're not actually going to be making a photorealistic bug. It's gonna be a quick illustration. This series is going to be in 3 parts. The first part we're going to be sketching. The second part we're going to be creating just a more detailed illustration that's going to be bigger, and maybe it's going to be one of your sketches, or maybe it's going to be a different bug, but it's going to be larger scale and in more detail. And in third part I will show you how to make a quick pattern in a photo editing software. I will be using all 3 programs, so if you are a beginner and you haven't got a Photoshop, I will show you what programs there are that you can use, and they actually do a pretty good job, as you will see. I'm not going to waste any more of your time. Let's dive straight into it and let's start sketching together. Step, we're gonna be recreating one of the illustrations that you either already made as a sketch, or maybe you want to do a different bug, but we're gonna move from sketching to a more detailed bug drawing. Again, I'm not gonna be outlining anything with a pencil, we're just gonna move straight into paints. It's just gonna let you to unleash your creativity a little bit more and just step out of your comfort zone if you are always used to just sketch it out first before you apply any paint. So for this particular painting, I don't think I've done a sketch for it. I've actually sort of done. I'm gonna be doing a box standard beetle. We've all seen this one online, on real life, I don't know. I'm going to be recording everything on my iPhone so you can see up close what I'm creating, as well as kind of see my face. And as you can see, I've got my little DIY tripod here because I only own one crappy tripod that my main camera is now filming me. So for this piece, I'm going to be using a separate sheet of paper. Because I work with watercolors, I have nice thick watercolor paper. A lot of times I just cut it to the size that I want, but this one's is just a little bit non-standard size, but it doesn't really matter, we'll just work with it. Right, so I personally love working with blue, red and yellow colors. I don't know why, but those are my main colors that I use pretty much every time I paint. So when it comes to painting bugs, I normally start with going for the head. I don't know what you love doing the most, but yeah, head works best for me. I mean, it sounds really bad when I say it. Right. I'd suggest you don't worry about how good or bad your painting looks. Because again, it is because we're doing on a separate sheet of paper, it doesn't mean that this is supposed to look magnificent. It really is not supposed to look good or bad or anything. You're supposed to just enjoy yourself more than anything. I do this exercises whenever I feel like I am a little bit stuck, when I don't know what I want to be doing for my next piece, or when I just feel a little bit overwhelmed with everything going on, and sometimes you just have too many projects going on at the same time. So these sort of exercises help you to, I guess, stay grounded a little bit and I guess run away from your reality a little bit. I personally enjoy putting a little bit of alcohol into my paintings. It creates some nice texture, and I will show you how. If you are a beginner, you might not have known that this sort of thing exists, but I will show you close up of how this creates some nice little details. It smells disgusting, but generally sometimes it makes me feel a bit sick. There were a few times that I knocked it over and it was alcohol all over the place. So yeah, you do need the proper alcohol that's got about as close to 100% as you can get. I got this one off Amazon, I think, and it was about a tenner, and I think it's going to last me until the day I die because there's so much alcohol in it. I would not recommend drinking it though. I got my little pipette, got it off eBay, and this one creates beautiful. I love using alcohol into my paintings as an extra. I love working also on a large piece of paper, and if you are someone that only started your journey into this creative world, I would recommend starting on a bigger piece of paper because it allows you more room for mistakes. When it comes to choosing colors, I would just recommend choosing whatever colors you actually enjoy the most, maybe your favorite colors. Don't think of like, oh, what colors are gonna be working the best with what. Literally use any colors. Don't overthink. If you're thinking for too long, close your eyes and just point at the color and pick that one. These exercises are supposed to help you to leave your comfort zone a little bit, just escape that, I don't know, artist block a little bit as well. Exercises are extremely good for beginners, people that are just trying to dip their fingers into this artistic world and want to experiment with different mediums. Maybe someone that doesn't necessarily know what their favorite medium is and they're just trying to work it out. So. Also, sometimes you'll notice that one color bleeds into another, and it's perfectly fine. That's what watercolors do. Especially with this sort of exercise, you don't need to worry about it at all. If you're trying to avoid that, you might want to leave the layers to dry before you apply different colors, because it's just the nature of watercolors. They will bleed into one another. As you can see, when you use some lighter colors, it's, I guess, good practice to try and use some more contrasting colors on top of the light ones. It's just gonna make it pop out even more, and it's gonna look good. I love it. It looks good. These exercises, I said that they're very good for beginners, but they're also very good when you find yourself struggling a little bit with an artist block, and we've all been there, and I know how hard it is to motivate yourself to do anything, to do any drawings. If you would like to have a little bit more texture just a little bit more texture, there are a few things that you can use. As I said, you can use alcohol. It gives this nice sort of galaxy type of texture. It looks really good and it dries super mega quick. And also my favorite thing to use is a bubble wrap, and if you don't have one at home, they're very cheap to buy off like Pound Shop. But all you do, I'm actually going to show you quickly. Normally I'm not that brutal with my good old bubble wrap. You just sort of paint a little bit of whatever color you're choosing. Don't overdo too much, you don't want it to be too liquidy. And you just pop it anywhere you like. Shit. Obviously that didn't work the way I wanted it to work, but normally you let it dry. I might not let it dry before I unpeel it, but maybe I will. Nah, I'm just gonna unpeel it because I want to show you. I would recommend, don't do what I just did. Leave the bubble wrap for about half an hour, maybe even longer, and then unpeel it when the paint is actually dry underneath. It will leave these very nice marks, but you don't have to do it like I just not did. But especially if you don't overdo with paint on a bubble wrap, you can still get very nice textures. But if you overdo it a little bit, you go over it a bit too thick, you might just get bubbles that don't actually look like nice texture, they just look like bubbles. Now, if you have watched any of my videos, if you follow me on social media, you know I love using a little bit of outline in my paintings, and that's normally done with a nice turquoise color. If you're watching this video and if you're finding it helpful or not helpful, leave a comment, let me know how I did, because I want to do this as a regular thing, but I never actually like tried teaching anyone how to paint. Right, I'll add a few little darker colors and I think I'll be done. That's my finished piece. Again, it's a very quick one. If I actually was working as a main piece, I would probably spend a little longer, but I just wanted to show you how spending a little bit more time, just a touch more time, not hours, can actually give you more opportunity to put more textures, more details in your paintings. Because if you compare to my sketches, this one looks way more different than my sketches, more complex and more colors. If you enjoyed this, leave a comment with any suggestions, and I'll move now on to showing you how to create a little pattern in Photoshop. Hi guys, and welcome back, and now we'll quickly show you how to edit your photos and make a little pattern in a program called Gimp. Well, it doesn't say Gimp, but it is Gimp. I know I said that I will be showing you how to edit photos in Photoshop, however I forgot that my computer doesn't actually have Photoshop because it is still Windows 8 and I have never upgraded to Windows 10, and Photoshop unfortunately works only in Windows 10 now. So I will be removing background in a program called Pixlr. There we go. And I have already taken photos of my sketches, and I have already exported them onto my computer, and this is where you can see I've got 6 little bug sketches, and I will be removing backgrounds on all of them and transferring them onto a program Gimp. It's very easy. I'm not a big fan of Gimp, but it works, it does its job. And now I need to find my... There we go. We're gonna import these. Full HD will do for the time being. I wonder if I can put all of this. I can. Right, so I'm gonna start with this bag. It is very nice and simple. You select this tool over here. It is a one select. You select the background and you press delete. Now I would suggest going around this and deleting little bits like that. You don't want these, so just make your photo cleaner. Now you can go even into your little bug, and where you want to remove the background, just simply click on it and press delete. I've only found out about this a couple of days ago, and it's so mega easy. If you want to just zoom in, you scroll, you press delete. So I want all of these little bits that I'm deleting now have white background instead of this weird grey / pink sort of background. So I'm quickly deleting. Now I know that a lot of you probably prefer Photoshop, however for those of you that can't afford Photoshop, there are some good alternatives that you can still download, like you can remove backgrounds with this program, which I find very easy to use. If you want all of these little bits deleted, do that first before exporting, but I'm happy as it is, and I will export it now, which is save. And you want to export it as PNG. Oh, I forgot about this little bit. We don't want this. So file, save, and you're saving this as a PNG because we don't want the background. If you're saying as a JPEG, it's going to give you the white background, and we literally just spent all this time removing the background. So PNG, and just hit download, nice and easy, it's here. And we shall do the same process with the rest of the bug. So now that you have all of your bugs done, you have removed all the backgrounds and everything, import now all of those images onto the software that you'll be creating a pattern in. I am using Gimp. It's a free version because I don't have Photoshop on this computer, so I'm using a free version, and I guess it's a good practice if you're just a beginner and you don't want to spend money on Photoshop just yet. It still has a lot of features that's actually really good. So we're going to be creating a new file. You create file, new, and I'll be just creating a very standard 1000 by 1000 pixels. It's quite a small one. You go to advanced options and make sure to change PPI to 300 instead of 72. And then you go to background color, which is fill with, and you select transparency and click OK. There we go, nice transparent background. Now I have all my bugs already imported, and we're going to be creating a little pattern, and I'll show you how to do that. Now click a new layer, create a new layer by just clicking this button. Don't worry about changing anything here, just press OK. And go into your bugs, your first bug, select a rectangle select tool, and just select your entire bug like that. And click Ctrl C. You go back now to the empty one and you click Ctrl V. Now you can either click this tool, Unified Transform tool, manually like that, or you can just press Shift plus T. So I click this and I click on the bug, and it creates this little box, and you can now make it smaller, larger. You can, if you wish, you can rotate it. And I'll be creating my box like that. You now move it and you press enter. Now you can check, there we go, you can nice and easy move it around. So it's done nicely. Now just make sure with every one of your bugs create new layers. So now I'm going to be creating a new layer again. And I'll be going to my second bug, same process. Just click rectangle tool, select your entire bug, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and now I'm using a shortcut which is Shift plus T. There we go. Now it's nice and small like that, and we're moving it here. Yeah, enter. Let's check if I can move it from this, nice and easy. Move this one too. Amazing, because you don't want to move the entire image. If you don't like where your bug is, you can just simply pick it up and move it to the position that you'd like it to be. Right, so let's create another layer and move on to a different bug, and let's repeat this process until you're satisfied with what you've got. Now I'm gonna use a shortcut of Shift T again, and let's make it smaller, rotate it and put it where I'd like it to be. Press enter, and I'll quickly see if I can move it. Yep, nice and easy. Can still move it, and let's carry on with this process until we're happy what we've got. Pretty satisfied with this look, and I will be now exporting it. So go to File, you select Export As, and instead of JPEG, select PNG. Oh, just write PNG, Buggies 1, PNG, and select quickly Export. Now this one, if you has created your photo with a transparent background, even though it doesn't show you because in a photo viewer it will always give you a white background. Even though it is a PNG, it will still give you a white background. Now let me quickly show you how to export it as a JPEG if you wish, because unfortunately I don't know what I'm doing wrong maybe, but with Gimp, if you are exporting PNG files as a JPEG, instead of creating a white background like you want to, like you would like to, it creates this black background. So instead I'll show you how to quickly export it as a JPEG with white background. So you have all of these layers on your right, you go down and you select the very first one, which is a background layer, and you go to Edit and you press Fill with FJ Color, and it gives you nice white color. And now you go to File, Export As, Buggies 1, and I'm exporting that as a JPEG. There we go. Now I've already got that one, but I will replace it and we'll export it. And it did export it with a white background, hooray. So here we go. So we've got one which is, it shows again a white background, but it is not. If you actually look at the thumbnail, it has a very transparent background, and the JPEG has a nice white background. And that's about it. I really hope that you have enjoyed this first out of many sketchbook series episodes. If you did enjoy it, please hit that like button. It would mean a lot to me, because I do want to find out if it is something that I should carry on doing in the future. If you have any comments, any suggestions that you think I should improve something, please don't hesitate, whether it's good or bad. Leave a comment in the comment box and I will check. I check all of my comments, however many I have really. I haven't really decided how often I will be uploading this sketchbook series due to the fact that, well, we have COVID at the moment, so I don't know whether I'm going to be ill tomorrow or I'm going to be ill week after. So I'm trying my best to not overthink that and just focus on one day at a time. So after I post the second video, I should have a more clear idea of how often I will be posting this, so please bear with me. I do have a lot of ideas that I want to share with you. If you have a suggestion also what kind of subject you want to see me sketch, again, don't hesitate, leave that comment. I would like to sketch something of your choosing. With all of that being said, I hope you're all staying safe, and if you are watching this during lockdown, I hope you're doing fine. I hope you're not going crazy, and I hope you haven't got COVID like we do. So yeah guys, stay safe, stay occupied, learn some new skills, and I know it's a very crazy, uncertain times, and a lot of us are a lot worried about our futures, about our jobs in general, but let's try and focus on maybe learning something different, whether it's painting, poetry, reading more books, because it's very easy to worry about all of the things. So distract yourself with new skills. I will see you in my next episode.